How's it going, everyone? Yosef back here with another video, and hope you're having an amazing week so far. Today, I wanted to make a video about something that's really personal, something that I struggle with quite a bit, and I thought if I struggle with this, there's a good chance that some of you might struggle with this too. So today we're going to have a really interesting conversation. Let's go for a drive. All right, so what I wanted to talk about today is this whole concept of fear of missing out, FOMO. Now, a lot of times people have that experience, that fear of missing out when it comes to parties or going out with friends or, doing exciting things. But there's also a lot of FOMO that goes on in the car world. And what I mean by that is people tend to go and buy cars because, they really want the latest and greatest. They see there's a new version of their car that came out. It's so cool, it's exciting, there's new features, new technology, and so there's a little bit of what I'll call keeping up with the Joneses when it comes to that. And I think one of the biggest challenges with that is that a lot of people make decisions about things and spend money on upgrades on things that aren't necessarily that important to them because they just feel like it's the right thing to do, but in reality, they don't care about it that much. So I'm going to break this down for you because there are a few things that inspired me to make this video. Number one, of course, we're driving around in my 2023 Volkswagen Golf R, which I absolutely love. It's a car that I waited for so long that I was super excited to get, and I'm thrilled to have. It's an honor to have it. But now there's a new one that's coming out. There's the refresh coming now, launching next week for the new version of this car. It's the facelift version of it. And it always gets me thinking when there's a new version of something that you love, do you want it? Is that something that is worth the investment into? Should you upgrade? And just so that you know, I have a lot of passions in life. I love cars, I love photography, I love technology. And so I get this sort of pull to go and get the latest and greatest stuff all the time, whether it's a TV, whether it's a phone, a laptop, a new camera, the car, whatever it may be. There's a lot of things that get me excited about getting the latest and greatest, but in reality, I don't really need that stuff. And so now that the new 2025 Volkswagen Golf R is being launched this week, it really got me thinking, does it make sense to upgrade? Should somebody who just bought the Mark 8 Golf R, be interested in taking a look at the 8.5, the new one? And that was sort of one thing that really got me interested in making this video. The second thing was I was going car shopping with a friend of mine, and this is somebody who owns a really awesome car already. Something that's 7 years old, but has all the great technology that came about when that car came out. It was a top trim, and it was an amazing car. And so he asked me to say, you know what, Yosef, let's go car shopping and see what's changed in the last 7 years. What new technology is out there? What could be better than what I have? And is it worth me buying something new and exciting? And we went to a lot of the major brand dealerships. We went to BMW, we went to Ford, we went to Land Rover, we went to all the major manufacturers that you can think of. And to be honest with you, we were somewhat underwhelmed. There's a lot of really great tech in cars nowadays, and they look great, and there's a lot of really cool screens and other stuff. But to be honest with you, there isn't that much that, you can look at the car that he had before to say, wow, we really missed out if we didn't buy this. And that really got me thinking. A lot of times people go out and make these purchases, they lease cars or they go out to buy the next great thing, and, it's not that much better than what they had before. Sure, there's going to be some cosmetic tweaks. Sure, there's going to be some new technology that comes along with it, but is it really leaps and bounds ahead of what you had before? Probably not. So I wanted to touch on this topic today because I think it's an important one, and not just for cars. I think it's an important topic for life. Again, whether it's a TV, whether it's a laptop, whether it's a phone, whether it's a new piece of technology, I think people get swept up by all the marketing, by, the really great content that's online that pushes us to say, you need the latest and greatest, you need the next one, you need the best one. It's not going to do if you just have what you have. And you look at all the specs and you see, oh, the resolution on this camera is going to be so much better, and oh, the shutter speed is going to be, a tenth of a second faster on this one than the one that I have, and all these little tiny things that add up to be, this new model. But in reality, do we really need it? Is it really going to make that big of a difference in your life? I don't know. I upgraded my cameras recently. I upgraded my car. I've upgraded my cell phone recently. And to be honest with you, outside of a few things that were really, really important to me, those new features, those added benefits are not that great. I don't feel like they've made a world of a difference in my life. And had I been able to wait another year or two for the next one that could be, much greater in terms of the difference in technology, that could have been fine. I would have been able to do away with it. And so I sort of want to just pose that as something to think about, before you go and make a decision about getting the next car, getting the upgrade, changing your phone, changing your TV, whatever it is, technology, or getting the latest and greatest of whatever it is that you're interested in, really think about it and think about what are the things that I really, really want in that device or that item, that car, and, do I really need it right now? And if I wait a little bit longer, will the things that will be matured in that device or that car for the next generation be that much better that are probably worth waiting and skipping this sort of in-between piece of technology that's out there or in-between version of the car? And so I think that's a really, really important decision to make. It's something to really factor in and think about when you're going out to, again, buy whatever it is that you're interested in buying. And if you do that, you'll come to realize that technology changes so quickly nowadays. There's so many things that are happening at the same time. And, when you go out and buy a car, a lot of times, within 6 months or a year or, 2 years, that thing that you were super excited about, it's not as exciting anymore. You've become used to it. And then the big question is, well, I had all this excitement for it. Is the next thing going to be that much better? And anyways, I think that's something worth thinking about. So that's really why I wanted to make our video today and what I really wanted to talk about for our conversation. And I think it's relevant in a lot of our lives. A lot of times people lease cars, so it's not as important to worry about. But I think a lot of people make their buying decisions about their phones and laptops and other things based on the fact that there's a new one that came out. It's hot off the press. There are all these new specs and new cool things that come along with it, but it's not earth-shatteringly different from what you've already had. And it may not make that big of a difference in your life. And so, maybe waiting for the next iteration could be the better thing to do. And you'll get more value out of it. So, I hope you found this video helpful. I know it's a short one today. It's kind of a rant, but it's also something that I think is really important to think about. We all get swept away in marketing and, hearing about new stuff and wanting new things. We live in a very capitalistic, society where, we want to buy things. Companies want to make money, and so they're always pushing the new products. But, in reality, I think a lot of us can enjoy and do a lot of really great things with the stuff that we have. And if we hang on to it just a little bit longer and wait for the next iteration, chances are we'll probably get more value and more satisfaction out of waiting that gap and waiting a little bit and seeing what comes out next in terms of technology. So again, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate you watching the video. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. And if you find this helpful and you find that there's somebody in your life that could really value from this conversation, then feel free to share the video with them. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.